My name is David J. Harris Jr. Join me and millions of Americans around the country as we embrace liberty and freedom. This is the David J. Harris Jr. Show.
Hello, friends and family from around the country and literally around the world. This is another episode with your host, David J. Harris Jr. And let me just start off by saying thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of your day with this brother right here. As I try to bring you the truth and the news that a lot of the mainstream media refuses to, I try to bring you what's really going on, what's most important. And while big tech continues to do their damnness to try to shut me down, I'm continuing to try to expand. So you can now follow me on Rumble, rumble.com/David. And you can also get my podcast, which has been blowing up lately. Tens of thousands of downloads per episode. People are listening to and sharing my podcast. So if you're listening via the David J. Harris Jr. podcast, thank you so much for tuning in today. All right, let's get into it, friends. We've got nothing but bumbling Biden that just continues to make an absolute disgrace of himself and of the office of the presidency. It's really ridiculous when you've got a guy that is obviously battling cognitive decline, somebody that has a really hard time rubbing two thoughts together in the same sentence, and then still says things like this.
Looks like a tornado. They don't call them that anymore. That hit the crops and wetlands in the middle of the country, and Iowa and Nevada.
So we don't call tornadoes anymore? What do we call tornadoes now, Joe? What is that spinning whirlwind that's destructive and tears through cities and homes and neighborhoods? What do we call those things, Joe? Do you have any answer whatsoever as to what they're called now? I don't know. I looked it up on several different sources. I can't find anything that says that there's a new name for tornado. Maybe that word, when he was looking at it in the teleprompter or when he was reading it, however it was going through his mind, maybe it just did not connect. Maybe the words, the letters just didn't look right. And so to Joe, they just don't call him that anymore. That's just not something that we deem a tornado. Well, when you've got instances like that, it definitely makes you wonder, but he caps it off. He doesn't stop there. Friends, it's sad to have to report this stuff, but Americans need to know. I say bring back the mean tweets. Make tweets mean again. I don't care. I'll take some mean tweets and a president that operates with real leadership, which I have a very exciting news story to tell you about very, very soon about a potential interview with the man, the legend himself, 45. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me? I cannot wait to tell you what is happening and what is in the works. You're not going to want to miss it. That is for dang sure. Well, let's go back to what apparently 81 million people voted for. Let's go back to that.
Folks, and we have to take some bold action now.
Yes.
To tackle the accelerating effects of climate. We are determined that we are going to deal with climate change and have zero emissions, net emissions by 2050. By 2020, make sure all our electricity is zero emissions.
That's true.
What year is it right now? Let me check my watch. Let me see. I'm not even wearing one, but I'm pretty sure it's 2021, almost 2022. Yet we have a commander-in-chief on paper that's in office saying by 2020, we're going to have this eradicated. We're going to make sure it's done by last year, which pretty much seems par for the course from this administration. Everything that he's done has been set to try to undo what President Donald Trump put in place. And just look at how far we've come in 7 months. Gas prices sky high. California's reporting prices in the $5 and $6 range. Average price of about $4.50. Highest in the country. One of the highest in the country. It's the entire country is seeing it. Could that be maybe just because of the stoppage of the pipeline? Could that be because Joe Biden said, you know what, we need to just cancel all these American jobs for workers that would make us more energy independent? And then, let's go reach out to our Saudi friends and tell them, beg them, please give us more oil so we can get more gas. Maybe that's just one of the things that Joe Biden did that would have a damaging effect. Please, I was actually on a podcast with Patrick Bet David yesterday. Goodness, flew to Florida Monday night, did the podcast with him. Amazing man, amazing podcast, and then flew back last night. But there was a liberal, a snowflake. He says he's more of a centrist Democrat, which I'm hoping and begging for centrist Democrats to wake up from what's going on, stop listening to the mainstream media, the propaganda, and look at what is actually taking place and who we need to support. We need to invite and welcome everybody that wants to wake up. And that's what my goal is. I see a lot of conservatives. I got to tell you, I don't really like it. They're bashing a lot of people that are waking up now. They're like 20% of Joe Biden's voters regret their vote. Now, if we do the math and there's 81 million voters, that's about 16 million people, Americans, that are regretting their vote for Joe. I don't want to say too bad, too late. You're too sorry. So sorry. You're wrong. And you got to live with it. No, I want to say, come on over. Let's beef up our party. Let's understand what's at stake, and let's make sure that this mess never happens again. If you won by 6 million or 10 million or whatever the you believe the election results were, let's say we take the 16 million Biden voters into our party on our side that puts America first, that puts our safety first, that puts our prosperity first, puts our heroes and our military first. Let's do that, and I guarantee you we'll never see another debacle like 2020 ever again. Well, when Joe Biden showed up to show support in New Jersey, he had not a very pleasant welcoming.
Leave them in ruins and leave Americans behind.
Shit.
Leave Americans behind.
That's fucking crazy.
He will leave you behind. You guys protected him. He will leave you guys behind.
That's crazy.
Leave our American behind.
At the airport in Dallas, and I think they like my shirt.
Love your shirt.
Love your shirt. That's the best shirt ever.
I love running into individuals that appreciate what I try to do, the truth that I bring, I was wearing that court-martial Biden shirt with pride through every airport, all the way to Florida, and on the way back, I had a lot of people that said, man, we love your shirt. We agree with you. Joe Biden should have never left Americans behind. The truth is, it was this entire administration. Kamala Harris is complicit. The generals are complicit. The same generals that think it's important for our military to understand CRT, to understand the racial disparities that they say exist just in the fabric of our own DNA. Those very generals also signed off on leaving Americans behind. I say make tweets mean again. I say bring back the president that says it like it is, that leads with a real iron fist, that understands you get peace through strength. And if you agree with me, pick you up one of these T-shirts over at davidharrisjr.com. I got a lot of great merch over there, and I'm honored and blessed to be able to say that we raised almost $25,000 at the end of last month. I said all the profits are going to the nonprofits that have assets on the ground trying to get Americans home and our allies and friends home. I'm adding $5,000 to that. We're making it $30,000 that we're giving to these nonprofits to get our Americans home. We're doing a heck of a lot more, I believe, for these Americans and our friends than this current administration is. It's just a small part, but all this month, 20% of all the profits, all the sales, period, 20% of all the sales are going to those nonprofits that are trying to bring our Americans home. So get over to davidharrisjr.com and find yourself something nice. So while California has a chance to make history by electing the first black governor ever, not only do I believe Larry would be an amazing governor, has nothing to do with his skin color. That would make history, though, just as Barack Obama did. And while I shared in my book, I cried when Barack won because I was sad that it was him that was going to represent the black community as president of this country. I would not be sad whatsoever if it was Larry Elder that became governor of California. I truly believe that he could steer California back in the right direction. And even with maybe just a year left in the term before he'd have to run again, I think he could show California what real leadership looks like, what's necessary to keep Californians safe, and could begin to steer the ship of California away from the socialist, communist regime that it's been, back to a place that's beautiful. I love California. I'm a California kid. And it irks me to no end to see Larry Elder get treated like this in California.
Touch me again. Don't touch me again.
Don't touch him.
I'm
popping him in the motherfucker name.
I'll fuck you up and break the fuck out of you. What did you do?
You hit him. You're the savvy boy. I'm gonna rip your head. Fuck with me, boy.
You get that sorry piece of shit out of here.
Hey, Michael, stop.
Get that piece of shit out of here. You gotta bring that bitch out of here.
Friends, I've got to tell you about a very good friend of mine, Mike Lindell, and his amazing products. Are you kidding me? Not only does this brother have amazing products, but he loves my show. He is one of my first sponsors, my biggest sponsor. He absolutely loves everything that I do, all the truth that I bring. But more importantly, for you, friends, I love his pillow topper. His mattress topper is second to none. We moved recently, and we did not put our mattress topper, our MyPillow mattress topper, on our mattress the first night that we moved in. The next morning, my wife and I both looked at each other and said, we've got to put our mattress topper on. It is like having a whole new mattress. And I got to tell you, be honest, our mattress was pretty expensive. We got it at a good price, but we already had a very expensive mattress. Our mattress topper from MyPillow, it's a game changer. We sleep so well, so sound, and so comfortably, and we wake up feeling refreshed. Use the code David at mypillow.com and you'll save 30% off his mattress topper, and you'll get 2 free MyPillows with the purchase of your mattress topper. So whether it's the towels, I love his towels as well. I love his sheets. I didn't think I could love sheets so much, but I absolutely love Mike's sheets. Whether it's the sheets, the towels, or the topper, you'll save up to 60% depending on what you get when you use the code David, my name David, at mypillow.com. So get there right after the show. Use the code David at mypillow.com. You'll not only be blessing yourself with amazing products, but you'll also be supporting my show. Absolutely disturbing. Is that what tolerance is all about? Isn't that what most of these leftist liberals preach, is tolerance? It's peace. It's accepting everybody. Except when you have someone that doesn't agree with them, well, that's when the real fascism comes out. Yeah, it's seek and destroy anybody that does not agree with you, that does not share your ideology, and make a spectacle of them if you can. Unfortunately, I think this is going to backfire in all those leftist faces that even the LA Times, I believe it was the LA Times, called Larry Elder the new face of white supremacy. Are you kidding me? Larry Elder, the new face of white supremacy. Friends, that just goes to show you how absolutely crooked, how evil. I just call it what it is. It's evil. Some of these news publications are that peddle this absolute garbage, going after American citizens instead of actually just reporting the truth and reporting the news. Hopefully it wakes Californians up. Hopefully California gets a new governor that puts them in the right direction. There's a lot of great choices, but it looks like Larry Elder is leading the pack for conservatives. And Larry's a good friend of mine. I wish and hope all success for Larry, and most importantly, success for California. Well, the mask mandate. You know, a lot of people ask me, and I plan on asking Donald Trump when I get to interview him. Oh, cat's out of the bag, isn't it? Yes, that is going to happen, friends. I get to interview the president of the United States, the real president. Are you kidding me? 45. Yes, it is happening. Close to the end of the month. I will keep you guys apprised and informed as to when that is happening. But one thing I love wearing is this "Don't Blame Me, I Voted for Trump" shirt. People need that for Larry as well. But people appreciate this everywhere I go. They do. One thing that's happening right now that people are asking is, well, Donald Trump said he's pro-vaccine. He took the vaccine. I hear you. But one thing that he has emphatically said, which I'm going to make sure that he states very clearly when I get to interview him, is, would you push mandates? Would you push vaccine mandates like we're seeing roll out from businesses, from schools, universities? There was even a student at Rutgers University that's taking online courses, online, not even going into the college. And the university said, he still needed to get vaccinated. Are you kidding me? Tell me it's not about control without telling me it's all about control. Friends, that's exactly what it is. So I know what the answer is going to be, but for all of you that are wondering, I'm going to ask him very directly, Mr. President Donald Trump, would you ever be for mandating vaccines or even masks on the massive on our population? So I'm sure I know what that answer is going to be, but this right here is just a glimpse into what can happen when parents rise up, when parents band together, when students that say, you know what, enough is enough. I don't want to cover my face. I don't want to breathe my own CO2 all stinking day long while I'm out in PE, while I'm jogging the track, while I'm in class. I don't want to have to do that, especially when they're in the lowest risk category for COVID. It's the lowest risk. Again, we're talking about something that overall everybody has over a 98% survival rate if they do contract it. We're going to get into Joe Rogan in a little bit, but this is just an example of what can happen when parents band together, when students say enough is enough, when parents say enough is enough, and then leave it for and let the police show up and just see what unfolds.
If you're going to go in the building, you have to have a mask on.
And what would be the repercussions if they don't have a mask?
If you don't want to go in, you don't have to.
What if they do?
I'm not going to force anybody. I'm not putting masks on anybody. That's not my job. The order.
So they can go in without the mask.
This is a county health department order.
Okay.
And a policy of the school.
Right.
That if anybody that's going to go in, they got to have a mask on.
There is no policy.
I'm not arguing.
Okay, so they can go in, guys. They can go in. They can go in. Go on in, guys.
Oh, yeah. Drink the bottle of water and eat food.
Not touch you, guys. There you go. Yeah. They cannot touch you. Be orderly. Be kind and respectful. Be kind and respectful.
See, that's how our side operates. Be kind and respectful. Ask the questions. Get the proper answers. And when you know the answer is they can't do anything, the law cannot do anything, there have been no laws passed that say you must wear a face covering or else you're going to go to jail, understand that you have rights, your kids have rights, and as students and as parents, you need to take your rights back. Exactly why I've got this. I support full facial nudity. We need to be able to see each other's beautiful, smiling faces. I think it's one of the gifts that we get every single day to see smiles. I cannot tell you when I'm on an airplane or traveling, and I gotta out myself here. When I'm walking through the airport, I'm not wearing a mask. I'll wait for them to tell me. I hear the overcom system come out. It's a federal violation for you to not wear a mask. And so for the most part, I forget to wear a mask. I'll put it that way. I forget until somebody tells me, but nobody says anything until you have to get on the plane. And then you get on the plane and then, hey, if you're eating or drinking something, well, you don't have to have a mask on. So I support full facial nudity. Absolutely amazing what those parents and those students did, proving that we, the people, have the power. Like this, I support facial nudity shirt. Get it in my shop, davidharrisjr.com. So where will all this go? Where is it all going to wind up? Well, I think it's very, very interesting where it could all lead if we allow it to, if we, the people, allow it to. Some other countries are absolutely pushing for strenuous, even complete shutdowns on what takes place if a person has not gotten the jab. We're going to get into that in a minute. But first, take a look at this.
A group that Vice President Kamala Harris urged followers to support helped free an alleged domestic abuser who is now accused of murder. Minneapolis police say George Howard shot another driver in an act of road rage. He was out on bond posted last month by the Minnesota Freedom Fund. Now, that is the same group Harris got behind last summer. Its organizers now say they are looking for the best way to fulfill the mission. A group that Vice President
Wow. So you're telling me that one of the funds that Kamala Harris was imploring people donate to actually released a bad guy, and that bad guy went on to commit murder. My question is this. Where are all these celebrities that were out there supporting and showing their accolades, giving their attention and their support to Kamala and Joe Biden? Where are they at? Where are you at, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Where are you at, John Legend, Chrissy Teigen? Where are you at, Mark Ruffalo? Where are you at, all you A, B, and C, and D list actors that just had to tell the world that we should get behind and support the rioters that were destroying property, that were destroying businesses, where people wound up dead? and injured. Where are you at now? Where are you at? Now that we've got 13 service members killed, we've got hundreds, potentially thousands of Americans still trapped inside Afghanistan. Where are you at? And now we discover that these very same funds that people like Kamala were supporting, getting out these riotous, looting criminals, are actually still out committing murder. It's absolutely unconscionable, yet that's exactly what's taking place. Hopefully people are waking up and understanding what's really going on. Like Joe Rogan. I'm on to Joe now. Joe is talking about, I got COVID. He made a video. He got COVID. Oscar De La Hoya came out. He was supposed to actually fight this upcoming weekend with Vitor Belfort. He gets COVID. He's in the hospital. He was vaccinated. He could hardly talk in the video. He's literally laying in a hospital bed sharing. He's not going to be able to fight. He's in a battle for his life. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan gets COVID the very close to the same time, takes his own cocktail of medications, doesn't get the vax, doesn't get the jab, takes ivermectin and a few other things as well. And all of the mainstream media liberal bias were just bashing Joe Rogan. He's taking horse dewormer. What is he thinking? His big audience, he's leading people to go take things prescribed for animals. Are you kidding me? I'm not making this stuff up. You think I'm making it up? Just watch. This is just one clip. I've actually got two, but watch this first clip where CNN is ragging on Joe Rogan overtaking ivermectin. They even want to follow it up with the doctor just to hope you really believe them.
He's trying to portray this as if he is feeling better now. He's doing better now because of this cocktail of drugs and medications that he has taken. Of course, some of these are under emergency use authorizations. Others have been, discouraged by the CDC and the FDA. But when you have a horse deworming medication that's discouraged by the government, that actually causes some people in this crazed environment we're in to actually want to try it. That's the upside down world we're in with figures like Joe Rogan.
So, Dr. When ivermectin apparently given to deworm animals, why are people using this? I mean, I know, it's being spread online and stuff, but what is the theory that it works?
Well, I think there are some people who want to believe that there is a magic pill for COVID, which, of course, we would all want. But this is the main issue. So with ivermectin, not only is it that we know, not only are we saying that there's no evidence it works, it goes beyond that. We actually know that it doesn't work. There was a systematic review looking at 10 randomized controlled trials that were done in different countries, looking at different doses of ivermectin. And they found that there was no benefit for ivermectin in reducing mortality.
Wow. They just have to wrap it up with a doctor. This is a doctor. She knows what she's talking about. They did every search and studied every paper possible to tell you there's absolutely zero benefits from taking ivermectin. That's what CNN wants you to believe. Well, apparently, Joe Rogan's body did not agree with what CNN had to say. Not only did Joe go on, not only did CNN bash him, Jim Acosta bashed him, but let's take a look at Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, yeah, Jimmy, he didn't leave it out there either. He even went so far as to say, you know what? We should probably start making sure that hospitals, I'd be okay with hospitals not admitting a person with a heart attack or some kind of emergency if they had chosen not to get the jab.
Dr. Fauci said that if hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy. That's
unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable and disgusting. Well, Joe Rogan has a message for every single person that put him on blast. He's thinking about suing CNN. And Joe, I say do it. Please do it. You with your huge platform, with all the millions of people that follow you, that listen to you, that believe what you have to say, you just proved once and for all, and hopefully it's really hitting you, that yes, the mainstream media that are supposed to be there to report the truth for the health and safety of us, they lie.
I'm glad you're well, man.
Bro, do I have to sue CNN?
I don't know. Do you?
They're making shit up. They keep saying I'm taking horse dewormer. I literally got it from a doctor. It's an American company.
Mm-hmm.
They won the Nobel Prize in 2015 for use in human beings.
Yeah.
And CNN is saying I'm taking horse dewormer.
Yeah. What? So
they must know that that's a lie.
There's a lot of people saying it.
Right, but a lot of people can say it.
Okay.
Like the internet says it. Who cares?
Sure.
But CNN is saying it. Like Jim Acosta.
I meant like USA Today, a few other
Yeah.
And they're talking about ivermectin, right?
Yeah.
So what, because I don't know, I just saw so much news about you. I mean, I would talk to you and check on you and see if you're all right. And you're like.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were talking about. Joe Rogan, if you hear this, if somebody shares this with you, please, you owe us, the American people, the duty and the respect of suing the pants off of CNN just to prove a point. Maybe that'll stop them from lying so much. Maybe it won't. But you should, and we all hope, Americans hope, that you sue the crap out of CNN. Because listen to it let's listen to the other perspective. They're pushing something away from the American public and people that could potentially help them, like Joe Rogan says that it did. Now, that's not even just necessarily slander or lying that Joe could sue over, but that's potentially harmful to Americans. They are doing a disservice. They're doing more than that. It's disgusting what they're doing, continuing to try to push a narrative that all of the mainstream media, all the liberal mainstream media, and this current administration wants us to believe the only saving grace is going to be the jab. That's it. And if you don't get that, then you can't operate in life. That's pretty much what it's coming down to. And I'm going to show you some videos today that I think are going to wake you up to that fact. So, Joe, if you hear this, if you see this, please, Joe Rogan, sue the mess out of CNN. We'd all love to see that. So this is what I believe is coming to America. If we don't begin to take our lives back, if we don't choose to stand up and band together and fight and say, my body, my choice, literally, this is my body. It is my choice if I put something into it. HIPAA means something. My bodily autonomy means something to me. My own rights for my body means something to me. If we don't begin to do that, if we don't stop complying, friends, what's happening right now in Australia, what they're talking about doing, I guarantee you, friends, it's coming here.
To protect the health system, we've got everybody locked down. We're going to move to a situation where, to protect the health system, we're going to lock out people who are not vaccinated and can be. If you're making the choice not to get vaccinated, then you're making the wrong choice. You're making the wrong choice. And for safety's sake, and back to that point about how much work our nurses have to do, as this becomes absolutely a pandemic of the unvaccinated and we open everything up, it's not going to be safe for people who are not vaccinated to be roaming around the place spreading the virus. That's what they'll be doing. So there's every reason to get vaccinated. And there are appointments available, and there'll be even more appointments available throughout September, October, November. Let's get to those thresholds as fast as we possibly can. But yes, there's going to be a vaccinated economy, and you get to participate in that if you are vaccinated. Now, that's not right now because, of course, there's many more people who want to get vaccinated than we actually can get through the system. But we're going to get to a point where everybody who can get vaccinated will have been offered the chance to do so. And we are not going to have a situation, well, at least not in Victoria, where we lock the whole place down to protect people who won't protect themselves. These go and get vaccinated.
It absolutely makes no sense. Does it make sense to any of you? Does the mindset, the reasoning of we want everybody to get vaccinated so that you're safe, but if somebody else chooses not to, somehow that's going to affect the people that chose to take something that's supposed to keep them safe? Are you kidding me? And then he actually said, if you heard him there, they want a vaccinated society, which means you won't be able to go anywhere, buy anything, trade. It's starting to sound a little biblical. I'm pretty sure there's something in the Bible that was written thousands of years ago that talks about in the final days before the return of the Messiah, not only are there going to be talks of wars and rumors of wars, and there's going to be all these other things, but it also said that there would be a system in place where people couldn't buy anything or sell anything unless they had a certain mark. I don't know what the mark is. I'm not saying it's the jab. I'm not saying that. But all I'm saying is this is leading to the system to be in place that then says you can't buy or sell anything. You can't act and operate in society unless you've taken the jab. And friends, this is not just happening in Australia. Listen to what the governor of Nigeria is also saying.
So from the second week of September, people may not be allowed to worship in churches and mosques without showing proof of their vaccination cards at the gates. Similarly, people will not be allowed to event centers for parties or receptions without showing proof of their vaccination cards at the gates of these occasions. We have made adequate arrangements with security to prevent anybody who does not have a vaccination card from accessing any of these events. Also, you will not be allowed to access banking services in Edo State from the middle of September if you have not been vaccinated.
You cannot access your bank account or banking services. You cannot worship. They don't want you going to church. They don't want you going to businesses, to grocery stores. It is a complete lockdown. If you haven't shared this already, please share it. At least tell your friends and family to watch this last part. I'll make sure I cut this out and share it in its entirety, just these bits right here, because this is exactly what I'm talking about. They are leading us to a system that says you cannot buy or sell anything unless you've received the mark. Does anybody else see this? Am I the only person on the planet? I know I'm not. I was sitting next to a very sweet woman last night on the way back home here to Dallas, a grandmother. She was visiting her grandbaby in Florida. And when she found out who I was, then it all kind of clicked for her. We had a great time. And she was telling me, she's all, what about this? What about that? We were on the same page. I know I'm not the only one, but there are too many people out there that have no clue, that have no idea. They don't even see it. And worse yet, they're going along with the narrative to push us towards a system like they're talking about in Australia, like they're talking about in Nigeria, and like I believe this current Biden administration would push us if they think they could get away with it. Jen Psaki, I believe this is just today. Jen Psaki shared that tomorrow Joe Biden is going to announce some things that are going to, well, you got to hear it for yourself, but see if it lines up with what we just heard from Australia and what we just heard from Nigeria. See if maybe, just maybe, she's giving a little inkling of an idea of what we can expect from Joe Biden and his administration tomorrow.
Will be new steps the president announces tomorrow, absolutely.
Any of those new steps influence the average American's day-to-day life? Should we expect any new mitigation recommendations, as an example?
It depends on if you're vaccinated or not.
That should tell you everything you need to know about where this current administration wants to take us as a country. Will it affect, the question was asked by the reporter, will it affect people's day-to-day lives? Jen Psaki, representative for Joe Biden himself, said that will depend on if you're vaccinated. Friends, are you ready? Because I really believe, I'm going to share this, a couple things. I believe what is coming out, what is about to come out from the audits in Arizona, which I believe will lead to audits in all of those swing states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, the swing state. I believe that what's going to take place is going to be a domino effect. And so they are trying to push and ram us as close as they can to whatever edge they're trying to get us to before they maybe have to get out. I don't know. I'm just telling you, I know they think that their time is close. Their time is up. They are trying to full steam ahead, pedal to the metal, take us where Australia and where Nigeria are already trying to take us. Friends, we've got to unite. We've got to rally around like-minded people, and we've got to wake up as many of our family and friends as possible as to what is potentially about to break loose here in the United States of America. Meanwhile, we've got open borders still at the southern border. We've got chaos in Afghanistan. The Taliban is growing, partnering with China, partnering with Iran. It is chaotic. Never a greater time to pause, get into your Bible, friends, pray, and talk to other like-minded believers. That's where I get my peace from. I'm telling you, I'd go crazy if I didn't have peace that came from above to know that even this, there's a promise that I hang my hat on, even this, God is able to cause all things to work together for your good, for those that love him and trust him. I love him and I trust him. Do you? If you don't, or you feel like you're separated from him, just pray. Just talk to God. Just say, I've been away. I haven't been talking with you. Forgive me for trying to do things my own way. I believe that you sent your son to pay the price for me, to forgive me, and I receive that forgiveness. Receive it and then move forward and pray and spend some time in worship and spend some time with friends that believe the same. Because I'm telling you, I 100% believe, as it has always been, it's a spiritual battle we're in, but the manifestation of what's happening in the natural is manifesting at a greater degree and a greater pace than it ever has before, at least in our lifetime. And I believe it's leading up to something. So do your own research, connect the dots. But at the end of the day, we've got to band together. We've got to stick together. We've got to pray and we've got to act on whatever we can do in our own local area and begin to elect leaders that are actually going to represent us. Joe Biden doesn't represent me. I tell people all the time, don't blame me. I voted for Trump. Like the shirt, get it at davidharrisjr.com. And my sponsor, please get over to Mike Lindell. He's taken a beating in his sales and he doesn't say it publicly, but get over to mypillow.com, find something nice. He still has that code Trump 2020 up there because he believes it's not over. So go over there right now. I'm done for the day. Go over there, mypillow.com, and use that code Trump 2020 and find yourself something nice. God bless you. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
My name is David J. Harris Jr. Join me and millions of Americans around the country as we embrace liberty and freedom. This is the David J. Harris Jr. Show.